and welcome to my channel. I'm Lydia with Raindrop Lila, and today I want to share with you guys this new journal that I made. I named it the Phoenix Journal, and I'm going to kind of talk a little bit about it and my inspiration. I basically found the journal cover and it had this phoenix on it, and the title is the 1,000-hour day. And I was actually working with some of my Americana printables, and so then I thought this would make a really cool journal cover for like an Americana theme. But then I kind of went into a different direction and I made it more of a masculine style journal, and I was really thinking about like the legend of the phoenix and how it represents rebirth. And I actually typed this up. I had one of my friends on Instagram recommended that I include what I typed up in my Instagram post as like a little card for the journal. So this is my inspiration, and I think I'm just going to read it because it'll be easier for me to just read it than speak it, I guess. So this journal is the Phoenix, and from the ashes he rose. That's my inspiration for this journal. And this journal is inspired by the gilded phoenix on the cover. The phoenix represents new life, change, and a new birth. This journal celebrates the life of a man that had struggles, but in the end he conquered and leaves a light for future generations. It's a bit of a Cinderella type of story where he faced trauma, struggles, and darkness, but he not only survived, he conquered himself in a way and also left behind his story and a legacy of hope. I hope this inspires you to write about the struggles and the triumphs, because the triumphs are so much greater in light of the struggles and challenges. Often a personal struggle in life can be the same struggles the next generation has, and the story of victory can be a light of hope for future generations. A life is like the house on the hill and can be a light that is left on to light the darkness. May this light shine. When I made my reel for Instagram, I chose a few songs that I felt like really fit the theme of this journal. And I had actually, I think, 4 different songs that I was looking at. But then when I listened to the song Leave a Light On by Tom Walker, I felt like that theme of the song and this whole, like, the vibe of the song fit this journal really well. And so I'll link my reel below if you guys want to go take a look. It's just the whole feel of the story of this journal. Okay, so then I have a coin envelope here, and it says from the ashes he rises. Of course, this is kind of the theme of the whole journal. And inside I have a bunch of little pieces which I include with the journal. And I will link the digitals down below, so if anybody actually wants to go and make their own journal, I have the printables linked below. Okay, and this journal is actually for sale, and I will link the details in the description box. Okay, so it has these. I like the Statue of Liberty because I feel like it's really symbolic even for this whole idea of somebody growing through struggles or struggling. And the statue represents freedom and liberty. And so that's kind of, I thought that would just work really well in this journal. I also drew some inspiration from my grandpa. I've been really thinking about this being a masculine journal, and I've been thinking a lot about his life. I've always thought of making a journal for my grandma or inspired by my grandma and her story. But then I thought, what about his story? And my grandpa actually he grew up he lived in Romania most of his life. And he was an alcoholic. And so he struggled with that for a long time. And obviously the whole family suffered for it. But I also thought about his story and what that meant, what his struggle meant for him personally. And so that's kind of what I thought. I thought that it's kind of a good idea to show the good and the bad, and then kind of the conclusion of their life. And so eventually he became a Christian, and he also quit drinking. So things turned better, and in the end, my grandma was so happy that she stayed with him and she was faithful to him. And because of her, basically, he became a Christian. Okay, so I want to just show you guys some things that are included. I have this little package with little photo corners inside, and this is a rusted paper clip. And so a lot of the pieces in this journal will be really vintage style, and I have a gold paper clip too, but I think that's kind of a great mix, the gold with the rusted, like the new and the old. It kind of hints to like redemption. Okay, so these are all the pieces that I'm including that can be used with the journal. Okay. Oh, I forgot these pieces. Oops. Okay, I'm just going to set them aside for now, so we can move on to the journal. And the book cover is fairly old. You can see there's a lot of, it looks very vintage, and I love that. I feel like it really does have a story to tell. Okay, and it's tied with this cloth. Okay, let me just fix it a little bit. So I have it tied with this cotton style cloth, and then I included a medal because I felt like at the end of your lifetime, like, you can judge somebody's life by like bits and pieces, but usually you should look at their life at the end, and that's kind of when you see the struggles they've been through, the things they conquered or overcome. And that's when you think about, they get a medal for enduring and for overcoming the things in their life. So that's why I wanted to add a medal on here. And I actually roughed up the ribbon so that it has a vintage look to it. Okay. This actually goes here. Okay, so I'm going to show you a side view of the journal, and it has 3 signatures. Okay. This is a hidden spine, so I tied in the signatures into the spine, but I actually have it glued on here. Okay, and I have this really cool fabric that is reinforcing the spine. So I have this image here. This can actually, I like it to stand in for, like, it's a representation of the person. But what you can also do, if you really wanted to, you can use the photo corners and put a photo in here of the person this journal is about. And it says, "A Life of Triumphs." And I have unfaltering hope, and then there's a picture of these boys, and I thought that it's always great to also include, like if I were to write about my grandpa, let's say, I would kind of like share about his life as a child, what I remember or what I've heard about it. This right here, I think it's a tuck spot. Yeah, I have a tuck spot here and then one right here. Okay, so that's why I included this image here. And then here I have another tuck spot. And then I have this label that says against all odds. Okay. Okay, and this flips out. This is also a little tuck spot right here. This is an original page from the journal, and what I did was I wanted to include it because it says the 1,000-hour day, and when you're going through a dark time, the days seem really, really long, and so I felt like this really, really worked for the kind of the whole theme of the journal. And so that's why I wrote on here, some days feel as if they go on forever. So whenever something tragic or hard happens or traumatic, it usually feels like the day's not going to end. So that's why I included this, and I felt like it really worked out. This is some vintage paper, and I reinforced it. This is some vintage paper. It's like some kind of receipt. This is one of my printables from my Americana collection. I used a lot of the neutral digitals or printables for my background pages because I felt like it worked really well. It's a really neutral journal, but it has hints of red, like right here, and navy, and kind of, I think that's kind of it. Most of it is really neutral. Okay, I love this image. I think it works so well. And I have the quote right there, or the sentiment, pursuer of dreams. And I thought that's kind of a cool thing to write about their dreams or what they enjoyed or loved. Here's the other side of that receipt. And then I made this. I actually have a craft with me tutorial on how I made this, so I'll link it below if anybody's interested. And also this one I made at the same time. Some space for writing. This is a printable. This is a really old, I guess it talks about the electric ranges, and it shows you like images of them. More space for journaling. This is a book page, and I love the yellowing of the paper. Got a couple pieces here. Okay, here I have this piece that I made, and I'm going to open it up. This is like a little journal. And it says, I have a little tuck spot here with tiny little pieces, a memory, traditions, cherish, honor, and legacy, a legacy. So I have some printables with these words, and some I cut out like this, but they're actually little labels. So I wanted to use them both ways. And so sometimes I cut the label off and use them just as words. You'll kind of see that a lot in this journal where I use them as just like word strips for kind of, I just kind of glue them over a picture. And I just like the way that looks, so that's how I've been using them. Okay, so that tucks in here. Like right here, I have the sentiment, a story of hope. And then this is a tuck spot, and then a journaling card. Well, it's a letter, but you can write on the back. And then I have this, which looks like a little card, and it's cardstock, and it says approved. So this would be great to make into a little journal, or you can just include some photos on there. Okay, so here I decided to use a proverb from the Bible. For though the righteous man falls 7 times, they rise again. So I thought that was a really fitting verse for a journal about, the growth and struggles and overcoming. So I got a book, a music page here. This is a printable. I have a pocket here, and there's a photo of, I actually printed this on cardstock of a dad with his daughter. Okay, then I have a calendar piece here from 1976. This is from July. And then I have the back of a postcard. This is also vintage paper. Okay, so here I have this sentiment: he toiled, he struggled, and he conquered. And here, this is a tuck spot with a vintage book page. And then another piece of ephemera, a printed ephemera piece. Okay, I have this piece. Isn't that wonderful? I love the color. And I added some of this tape. I love the color and how well it works in this journal and how vintage it looks. I've actually been looking for this tape for quite a while, and I just found it. Okay, so this is, again, another vintage piece of paper. I have a book page here. And then this is another book page. I have this one. I love the image. I think it's really great. Such a cool photo. I like that too. I thought that was really cool. From 1920s. So there's plenty of room for journaling and adding your own work, but it also has a lot of inspiration in here. I love this handwriting. Isn't that wonderful? The President of the U.S. This is a printable. I love this. I love that vintage image. I think it works so well. Here's the other side of the music page. And isn't that funny? I like it though. I think it works really well. Good old boys like me. So this would be cool to make a page about like his childhood. Okay, so this is the second signature. The cover page is card stock. It's printed on cardstock. And then the rest of it is just regular paper. I have this piece right here. And this is one of my marbled paper printables. I love this color. I think it works so well in here also. And then this is a vintage check from 1976. And I stapled this image of a young man. He kind of looks like a teenager, actually. And then I have this dangle on the paper clip. And I have the word timeless on there. Let's see, maybe I should get a close-up view. Okay. I have a tag and it says, I am an American. I love this image. I think it's so great. Okay, that's a cool picture. It's so vintage. Okay, I got a pocket here with all these pieces. and they get tucked in here. This is a journal page, entry page. It's like a ledger sheet. And then here I have another couple of pieces. Oh, I need to take this off first, okay? And then, let's see. Okay, so I got the image of the... And then this opens up. And I have, again, the sentiment typed over this image. The heart of a hero is overcome. The heart of a hero is to overcome the challenge that comes against him. That comes against him. So I love the image. I love the image of the road because I feel like it represents somebody's life. And I do love to use those in my journals. Okay, so this is how I'm going to put it back on. So let's see. Okay. And I got a map on this side. I reinforced this vintage paper with some of the masking tape. And I love to do that. I think it looks really good. I printed this actually on... So this is from one of my Americana... No, it's actually my my letters, American letters and documents. I have a couple maps like this one and this one in there. And I decided to print this on some paper from a vintage book because I love the color and this is how it turned out. Okay, so here I have a couple layers. I did some layering and turned this into a pocket. And it says the resilient man. And then I have these tags and I added this label here, Conqueror of Darkness. Okay. I'm going to give you a close-up view. Oops. Okay, so this right here is a tuck spot. Okay, so this, I love this piece that I made. I'm going to take it off so I can show you guys how it works. Okay, so here I have an image of the chairs. And then it says, and finally he stood unwavering. And I felt like that worked really well with the chairs because maybe the chairs represent like different times in his life, maybe the different times he was not standing maybe for what he had to stand for, or not, yeah, basically not standing for what he had to stand for. But you know, the chairs, I would also think they can represent different roles in a person's life, like different things that that person does or is. Okay, so this piece, actually, I have a paper clip right here. And what I'm going to do is, let's see if I remember. I'm just going to untuck this out of the paper clip, right? Because it has a little, it has an eyelet right there. So it just naturally stays like that. But I pull this out and then this opens up. And so the back I decorated a little bit, and then this opens up and you have this whole space for journaling. So isn't that cool? So all you have is like one big piece of paper and it's folded in three like that. And then what I did was I decorated this, the front of it, or the flap of it, right? And then I added an eyelet here, and so this can, well, first I gotta make sure that this slips back underneath the paper clip like that. And then I'm gonna attach it on here. Okay, I love this little piece. I think it's not that little, but I think it's really cool. And then on the back side, I have this image of a little cottage. And then I have a tag. Okay, some more book pages. And now I have some more pages, perfect for journaling. And then this is the last page. And here I have this image of a young man, and I have the sentiment, his story or heritage. And so, again, this is basically, my inspiration was a book where you kind of celebrate somebody's life, like a grandpa or a father. It can also be a husband or somebody that's still alive, and you can just fill it out because it's still a legacy for future generations, right? So that was my inspiration for this. But I really was thinking a lot about my grandpa and his life when I created this, and kind of the things that they lived through in Romania. And that is my journal. And I was going to show you guys, it has this fabric tab on there. I really love the way it looks. It's got like this gold color that kind of picks up on the gilding from the phoenix. Let's see. Okay, so that's the journal. I hope you guys enjoy this video. Flip through, and I hope it inspires you guys to also create some sort of heritage journal to remember. It could either be about your family or your parents or grandparents, but keep in mind that you can also do this. It could be your story and what you want to leave behind, the legacy you want to live behind. For your future generation, your children. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys again next time. Bye-bye.